Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this session. We will start as usual with these prayers on this black folder. Now we do the prayer on page 9 and 10. That's as indicated how many times we do. We do bilingually these prayers. In Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, I take refuge until enlightened reach. By the merit of listening to these teachings, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all living beings. May all living beings have happiness and cause of happiness. May all living beings be free from suffering, the cause of sorrow. May all living beings not be separated from the bliss that is soulless. May all living beings live attachment and hatred towards near ones and far, by living with equanimity. May all living beings have happiness and cause of happiness. May all living beings be free from sorrow and cause of sorrow. May all living beings be not be separated from the bliss that is soulless. May all living beings live from near ones of power, by living with equanimity. In accordance with Buddha's position of sentient beings, we request to turn the way of Effortless and common vehicles. With the brilliance of your wisdom, O compassionate one, illuminate darkness in my mind, enlighten my intelligent wisdom, so that I may hear the Buddha's words and texts that explain them. Omara Bhajana Di 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 Omara Bhaj In the previous 7 sessions we have had, we covered these topics. First night we talked about the Buddha nature, which is analytically meditating that Buddha nature is a quality that we all have, which is the quality of love and kindness and compassion, that we are basically good. We are all light, and so on the basis of that, then we moved on to the second evening, that how to awaken the Buddha nature. Even though we have a Buddha nature, but it has to be awakened. So the Buddha nature is awakened by turning to the qualities that actually awaken. So taking refuge in the Buddhist meditation, one has to take refuge, one has to accept the Buddha and the Dharma and the Sangha. And so by meditating on the idea of turning and accepting the Buddha. Buddha doesn't mean a person or school. Buddha means the enlightenment, the idea of path that leads to enlightenment and kindness and compassion. So accepting Buddha means one who seeks to attain enlightenment, one who seeks to practice love and kindness, practice non-violence, and then that person then accepts the Dharma. And accepting Dharma means the person will then study the teachings and follow the practices and learn to acquaint the teachings as part of one's philosophy. So taking refuge in the triple gem. And then by taking refuge in the Dharma, then one associates with the Sangha, which is the living lineage. And so when a person takes refuge in the triple gem as a meditation, then the third topic we covered was the law of karma, law of cause and effect, law of causality rather. And karma makes people think that it is Easterner, but cause and effect is universal and timeless, and it doesn't have boundaries that divides who accepts and who doesn't. Everybody instinctively knows that if I do this, I'll get that. If I don't do this, I won't get that. So the cause and effect is basically most sensible, logical thing that if people, without even consciously knowing it, called karma or cause and effect, are doing it, whether it's baking a bread or mending a cloth or investing some funds for something or whatever you're doing, you try to do to create the causes to produce a result, And so in Buddhism, when a person who have sought refuge in the triple gem accepts the law of karma and meditate on the karma. Meditate meaning in everyday life they try to understand certain experiences that they are encountering, because they don't remember creating causes for that. Maybe they did, but they didn't know that was the cause that was caused by that. So they stumble on no number of experiences. They don't know, where did this come from, or where did all the things I did do, go and bring me any good result. Sometimes we think we put a lot of effort, but we don't seem to be rewarded. And so karma is a constant question and a subject of meditation. We're always thinking, All of a sudden, a person wants to change their course of action because they're not getting result from that. It's like a farmer who's been irrigating water into the field, and his field is not growing. All of a sudden, he has to investigate what's going on. Well, maybe he's got water in the field, but no seed. He forgot that it is not just the water that irrigating that grows plant, but you actually have to have the seed in the right time of the year, in spring usually. You can't just plant whenever you like and then irrigate that. So you have to know all the workings of the cause and effect dynamic nature between elements, and And when we don't know that, even though we want result from causes, but that is wrong timing. So karma is every day-to-day meditation, isn't it? Every day we do analytically meditate, going through this. Often people like to implicate other people for their actions, where there is result. They're experiencing things they think it's done to them by others. They don't realize those obvious causes are just a small instigator, small cause that may look like that primary cause, but the primary cause isn't anything like that. So often the person who accept the triple gem becomes a very ardent student of law of karma. So that's the third lesson we went through. Fourth one is and those who are subjected to the cause and effect is in the samsara. So then we looked at the whole notion of the worldly existence. Everybody who has a conventional existence is subject to the karma. So we experience results. Sometimes we go round and round, we do the same thing again without realizing we don't want the result. We don't want the result, but we did all over again. But we didn't know that we were doing that. Sometimes we want to change everything and we want to go exactly reverse in order to produce another result. But sometimes that too bring us in the same circle again and again. So we survey all possible forms of life in this universe, which are all machinated by the individual person's doing or karma, whether it's physical, emotional, health, wealth, relationship, success, ability, skill, lack thereof, are all to do with one's own action. And one's own action of thoughts, action of speech, action of mind, whether it's deluded or undeluded. And so when one understands the making of the worldly existence due to individual karma, it's not so much karma is in a destiny. Karma means opportunity, creates new opportunities, Even if this is a result of that cause, but if we don't take this result carefully, this itself can cause something else. So there is no result that is only result and have no consequences with the result. So result itself is not result. Result is going to be cause of nada. See? So that's why when we do not know how to uncause the result, then that result could create another cause, and then it can create a vicious cycle. And a vicious cycle, I think vicious cycle is probably a German word. It comes from the German word, I am told. It's called devil's circle, You got caught in the devil's circle. Samsara means like a vicious cycle. You keep falling into that circle of the devil that drew, and you keep going into that circle, So the existence, our existence, day-to-day existence. And then on the fifth lesson we looked at our particular human rebirth, precious human rebirth, among all of the possible forms of existence and lives, and how distinct and precious and sacred a precious human rebirth is. So we really meditated on how blessed and fortunate and hard to live this life of ours is. When one who has recognized that, then he knows the karma to have this life must be enormously good stocks of good deeds we have done to merit this life. Then we go learn to, that is very helpful to go to appreciate the Buddha nature. Buddha nature can only be awakened in a life such as in a precious human rebirth. You can't awaken the Buddha nature in other unfortunate forms of life. So therefore, the first lesson and connection with the fifth one is, in spite of the karma and samsara, whatever, but one who actually sought refuge in the triple gem need not to fear samsara and need not to create karma in the unpleasant, unpalatable forms of rebirth. If one recognizes this life, this is one of the best forms of life that we have already got. Now one has to make sure this is put to best use from here onwards. So that was the fifth meditation. Then sixth meditation is that this precious though your life is, and very sacred is, but nevertheless we have to meditate on impermanence and death. So therefore the sixth meditation is how to learn to meditate on death and impermanence, not because we are interested in death, because we will be dying. It's like some subject we interested, so we meditate. Death is not a subject whether you're interested or not. It is interested in you. So we go to meditate on death and impermanence. Why? Is not to sort of weaken our spirit or anything like that. Rather to whip the diligence and urgency to start living before it's too late, because death can strike unannounced any time, and particularly our life, because it's sacred or precious, whatever. In this human life, it has no definite lifespan. Our other human realms and other planets, that there are other human beings, their lifespan is set. They are definite, 500, 250, like that. These human beings on Earth do not live more than 100 or a few years more, but could die as an infant, could die as a child, teenager, could die in the prime of youth, could die fittest as anything, So you have no guarantee to live how many years. So therefore, the meditation on death and impermanence is even more important. If your life is precious, it's only if you have some time. If you have no time, then the preciousness is not going to last. It's like you got a precious thing in the jar, but it's going to expire tomorrow. So if it's used before tomorrow, it is precious. But after that, it is going to be dust to the soil and go back to the elements. So the life is nothing to be shown. So then the seventh lesson we did last week, really it's a big subject, is the cause of some karma and the sufferings, samsara and all the sufferings. So we looked at the 6 root afflictions. I think I will not go over them. The reason I am going over this tonight is that tonight's topic is the role of the devotion and of making offerings in Buddhism, and how because we talked about in the second lesson taking refuge, people taking refuge, and not just a ceremony through which you go for refuge, but we actually Buddhist teachings is Buddhist meditations without devotion is totally intellectual circuit. There's a lot of people who are approaching Buddhism only as an intellectual level and don't want to take the religious or spiritual level. Then that's where they miss. That's what they start missing. That real chunk of that makes these teachings alive, a living tradition. So since the theme of this course is analytical meditation, on Buddhist analytical meditation, ideally, as we've been doing each night certain prayers, particularly the refuge and those we've been doing some other prayers on the refuge and so forth. But tonight I'm going to go over this is 7-limb puja, 7-limb prayer, which is the backbone of all Buddhist prayers and rituals. and ceremonies, and later on some sadhanas, both in Mahayana and Vajrayana practices. So it's very important to introduce to you to how to do. I mean, I'm sure that quite a few of you are familiar with some of the prayers and rituals and ceremonies, devotion we employ. So here tonight we're going to go over these through a prayer called Seven Limb Puja. And what these seven what these seven things are, and how do they play the role as a meditation? Because sometimes people think prayers are prayers and not meditation. They think prayers are just some kind of a warm-up thing before meditation. That actual meditation happens only in silence. So some meditation is done in silence, like calm abiding in meditation done in silence. But then your meditation could also be done in form of prayer, could be done in form of chanting, could be done in form of recitation of one prayer over many times, mantras. So I would like to therefore go over that. So firstly, the Sanskrit word for the sevenfold limb puja. Puja means offering, offering. So what is a puja? Puja means offering. Offering here refers to more like honoring the Buddha. Honoring the Buddha, one who has sought a refuge in the triple gem. One of the first instructions that for the practitioner is they should acquire a Buddha image. Or painting, or a tanka, or a drawing at least, and put in an elevated place in one's place of meditation or prayer, and put it there in a very respectful way, and then one should honor it regularly. And honor means puja. Puja means to honor the Buddha. So firstly, the statue or the tankas, before they are honored, they should be consecrated. Even though statues are there, or tankas are there, or pictures there, but when one wants to give them as our devotional object in our place of practice, we should have them blessed. Even simple blessings, some simple blessings, I ask them to bless their blessing. The big ones, like big statues, they are consecrated. After the consecration, then that statue is treated as the Buddha himself, and they are therefore honored. Like the shrine, you most of you do that when you come in, you bow down 3 times. In a yogi here who attends to the shrine every day, replenish them, and like that. So in the monasteries or temples or most Buddhist homes, they actually have a little corner where they put the Buddha images, and then put their offerings in the proper order, and then attend to the Buddha images as a symbol of the Buddha, scriptures and books as the speech of the Buddha, speech of the Buddha, and the stupas and some of the pagoda type small things, miniature stupas we have there. They are the symbols of Buddha's mind. So in any case, form tankas like those tankas, or the statues that we have here. These are form represent Buddha's body. The books like we have over there, many books over there, they are the scriptures. And the stupa one here, that's the stupa, is the Buddha's mind. So firstly, you honor these symbols of the Buddha's body, speech, and mind. And then we have also pictures of teachers like His Holiness Dalai Lama or other spiritual masters, whoever you have connection to, put them there, as well as other Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, whatever you have. Just make your living room that somebody lives in here. Somebody, not just a person, but there's quite a lot of people. There's a whole lot of things living in there. Make it very cozy, make it very warm and inviting, spiritual presence. It will sanctify your home. It will make you happy. It will make you to very attentive in that room, which is already a very skillful way of the Buddha rupas, visual dharmas. Visual dharmas. We are so forgetful. Visual dharmas, always very beautiful. Buddha Rupa consecrated is constantly blessing. Particularly if we honor it, then it blesses us even more. It's just like when you keep something from your family over years, it's got sentimental value, yeah? Yeah, Buddha Rupas and Tankas, these like this, a spiritual value. The longer you keep, I have some certain things I acquired a long time. I never part them. Oh, I'm very attached to them. I'm allowed to, actually. I'm told that when I die, I can't take anything. So I know that, but so long as I live, I need a few articles to keep myself looked after. So having those holy objects is good for your spiritual nourishment. Yeah. So puja is to honor those symbols of the Buddha. Symbols of the Buddha's body, speech, and mind. So that's what is puja, is honoring them. And who is the puja made to? Is what are we saying? Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. Mainly these are the triple gem. Then bodhisattvas. You have arhats, idams, deities, and the lineage masters. So these are our current living lineage masters. They had their teachers. They have their teachers. So we have some tankas like there. These are all the history, all the lineage masters from 7th century Tibet up till today, all the lineage masters and that. So if you just display them a whole lot. Don't just put them in the drawers. That's not the purpose. Purpose is to display them nicely, make your place very warm, very good. So you should display them. Then you know exactly who you're making honoring to. So that's, and when and why do you perform puja? When puja is usually like offering. So when you're on your own, you do daily. When means when is daily. Why do you do this? To enliven your faith, to renew your refuge, to renew your faith, to renew your meditation. Because prayers are usually, these sevenfold prayers are usually done as a part of meditation, And each practice has got some prayers, there some are exclusively elaborated form of sevenfold puja, which we're going to go through in a minute, and the others are much simpler form. So whenever you have an occasion, say before meditation, you always do a little puja. You just do the refuge. You do the refuge and replenish the offerings, change the offering bowls, and offering bowls is. I've got a list here of the on the next page, symbolism of the 8 offerings. So we have the drinking water. Firstly, on the left is drinking water. Yeah. So in Sanskrit we call argam. So, and then the second one is feet washing water, another water. Third one is flowers. So you've got flowers. Fourth is incense. Fifth one is butter lamp. If not, tea light will do. And then and the sixth one is perfume, usually water or scented water, like there's saffron water, or some people put a jar of perfume in the bowl. That's fine. And the seventh one is food, so which you can put a nice big apple or cake or whatever food. And then the eighth one is the music. Music is usually not displayed, but people put bells like we have done. So these 8 are put every morning. Every morning, the things are changed. Some of them need changing regularly. Others will stay fresh for a few days. But water you always change. So it says here that typically at Tibetan Buddhist altar here are 7 offering bowls and 1 light. So if you don't put all these distinct several, they're all filled with water. If you don't have any specific object, then just all fill them with water. Anyway, so they are arranged on the altar in a straight line, close together, like we can see. The distance between each bowl is about a width of a grain of rice. Sometimes we put bigger because the table is big. So we're actually not meant to be big a gap. So just one grain. bit of mindfulness offerings, arranging these. The water bowls are filled from left to right and filled full but not overflowing. The water is poured evenly and steadily with smooth, regular movement. So that's talking about when you pour, you should do it. Usually people wear a little cover mouth. They also cover their mouth. They wear a little mask, is it? And so they don't breathe into that. So they do that. If the offering is poured in the correct way, then it's said that beneficial outcome occurs. An obscuration dispelled because of the care and mindfulness, devotion that you should. This is the puja. This is the mindfulness, as you're in front of the Buddha. Yeah, people do that, and when they're in front of somebody, they try to be, because Buddha is always there. You've got to believe in it. If you believe, you will see it. If you don't believe, you wouldn't see it. This is the whole thing. The closing of the altar. So if you wanted to undo it, then you do it in reverse, from right to left. So we have the list of these things. Yeah. So what are these things? First one is drinking water is offered. Drinking water is offered to the mouth of the Buddha. And the symbolism of that is you actually wish, you offer, each time you pour the drinking water, you request, by offering this water to the Buddha's mouth, please, quench the thirst of me and sentient beings who are deprived of correct knowledge. We don't know the things very well. So therefore, please give us knowledge. Knowledge is, the water is like a knowledge, They said water carries memory. Water carries memory. So anyway, the whole idea is water offering is knowledge, to quench the thirst. We're so thirsty. We really want to learn so much, but everything we learn is less than useful, most of the thing. We read many books, but most are no use. So we want a knowledge that actually is useful. So that's a daily prayer. Please, may I learn. May I learn something to quench my thirst. Second is feet washing water is put there feet washing water is offered to the feet of the Buddha to develop humility. Even if we become very learned in knowledge and dharma, we may have humility. So that's a very important discipline is humility. No matter how well learned you are, humility and modesty are important. One shouldn't say it's my knowledge. This is my original writing. In Buddhism, it's taboo. You can't. What original writing you write? And this is all spoken by the Buddha. So these are all. So knowledge should not be possessed. Too sacred to be possessed. Like Aboriginal things, land shouldn't be possessed. Likewise, knowledge shouldn't be having my knowledge. Knowledge comes from the enlightened mind. So even if we know about the knowledge, we don't own them. We think as though we still don't know enough. Humility. Third is flower. Flower is offered to the head of the Buddha, and then with prayer. When you put beautiful flower, of course it's beautify the room, but that's not the purpose. The purpose is, please make qualities in us blossom. They are not blossoming. They just we don't know whether there's any bud or not. If there are any bud, please blossom. So, like say, we want to be patient, but we really wish to be patient, but where we need to practice is not happening. Not happening, So we offer the flowers in front of the puja flower in the morning. Each time you offer flower, we offer prayer. Please today may my patience with my boss blossom. Today may I speak kindly and respectfully to him blossom. So it's a beautiful prayer, Do that at the beginning of the day. You go with that intent. I'm sure something will change. That is the blessings of the puja. And then incense. Incense is offered. Incense for the nose. The prayer for sincerity, Because often we do things, but, we become too arrogant or something, and then people didn't benefit from it. If we're sincere, even we are not so good at it, it will help. Sincerity have a lot of benefit. Like aroma of incense is beautiful to smell. If you're sincere, it benefits people. more than your technical knowledge of it. Some knows technical knowledge a lot, but when it comes to offerings, it's so hard to help. Because they really don't want to do it. Their heart isn't willing, so they know technically, but the heart isn't willing. They just want to charge you all the time. Every hour, call out fee, and first 15 minutes, they're all concerned about that. Not really willing to fix your toilet or whatever. It's just so much materialism takes away the sincerity, Real helpfulness is not there. So we offer the incense. And the butter lamp or tea light is offered to the eyes of the Buddha, and we offer prayer. May I have the insight and wisdom to see what is unobvious. Yeah, often our mind sees things that are apparent, but don't see beyond that. Perfume is offered to the chest. We offer prayer. We offer the perfume or water in the shrine in the morning, that may I remain strong faith in the triple gem, strong faith in law of karma, not faith in kind of permanence and kind of that kind of rubbish, that things nothing lasts, nothing is reliable. Why have faith in unreliable things? May I have not put faith in unreliable things. But may I have faith in law of karma and the triple gem, which is very important. Most people invest a lot of faith in unreliable things. So then you get disappointed. They have faith in impermanent things, and then they want to be permanent. See, that's the unreliable things. If faith in the Dharma, yes, always true. Like a perfume that is not first 3 hours, but long time. Best perfume is faith. Not those bottles. Best faith is pure heart. That's what we're referring to. And then the food. Food is may I give myself daily food of meditation. So prayer. When you set up the shrine, it reminds you, meditate, my dear. Don't miss your daily meditation. It's very good. So attending the shrine has a good merit, because it's something to do, couple minutes, 10, 15 minutes at the most, but all of a sudden it becomes a daily chore, and doing that helps you to practice. And the last is the music, eighth one, music. That's the music is offering to the ear, means may I practice kind speech. So, see, just by attending to the shrine, few minutes in the morning, replenishing them, do at least 3 prostrations, and do this 7-fold prayer, which takes no more than 10 minutes, or more, not even that. And then if you're doing other practice, you can do after that, but at least do that, you then attend. That's what a Buddhist practitioner do. Buddhist practitioner minimum, if they are possession, they have in their home statues. Some people put the Buddha image as some kind of interior decoration. They put a corner of the rooms or some toilet also. It's not that the Buddha should not be put in such awkward places. It should be put in an elevated, nice place of respect and devotion. I have seen people put the Buddha in the toilet, Buddha in the garden. So sad, As if they have no space inside their home. Completely, they never heard these things, Because you can buy the Buddha in the garden shops, and then they think you can just leave it in the backyard. No, Buddha image should be washed and cleaned and put them like the image Buddha. Keep them high, and then to bow down to make the offerings daily, make a daily habit. Then it will sanctify your room, sanctify your house. There's a practitioner who lives there who does this. So that's the actual thing you do. Physical things, how you attend to the shrine. So. And where can a puja may be performed? So puja is as simple as 7-fold prayer could be done in your place. If it's a collective communal thing, go in the temple or the shrine or the center, like here, and when everybody come together, because this kind of place is dedicated for that, Nobody sit here in this room, put their feet on the table and watch TV. which is awful, really. In such rooms, okay. But in here, no permitted. No. This is dedicated for people to honor the Buddha and to meditate and prayer, which is very, 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 very fortunate that we can have a small place where people can come do that thing, dedicated, sacred room. Yeah. So if those people who have the practice, who are a practitioner, they are already doing this. I'm sure you are. If you're not, you should do it. You should get a set of offering bowls, put them up daily, and you will find that'll enliven your practice. That'll enliven your practice. You clean your bowls. Sometimes the water's got a lot of rust. Clean them nicely, wash them nicely. It's very good devotion practice. These are part of the devotional practice of Buddhism we are talking tonight. And who can perform puja? Anybody who knows how to. Particularly those who have accepted the Buddha, the Dharma and Sangha, who have refuge. They should do that, because it says in the refuge precept that after having taken refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, honor the Buddha image and scriptures, study them, and so on. And you should recite the refuge prayer. But when do you recite the prayer if you don't attend to them? Why buy statues and tankas? Do you buy them to decorate your walls or something? And walls, I'm sure, could do with something like that too. But they should go in a particular order. Mm-hmm. And how is puja performed? So that puja is performed by firstly, clean. Room must be cleaned. Room must be cleaned regularly, particularly before setting up the shrine. Is you don't clean the room after the offering has been set up. Not like that. You have to clean the room first, and then the offering should be set up. So, of course, I'm sure people are very hygienic, so I don't need to go. How is puja performed? So puja can be performed according to the... so this is a seven-limb puja, very simple. The other puja like Tara puja, 16-ara puja, Avalokiteshvara puja, 21 Tara puja, Mahakala puja, Kala Chakra puja, Hair Vajra puja. So there are many. Puja means ceremonies, There are ceremonies. So it could be simple, few minutes to couple of hours. Some goes for days, actually. some puja go for days. Others just go a couple of minutes. Like this 7-4 puja is only 10-15 minutes. And once you start practitioner should learn to do this at home. How is the puja performed? So first thing they rise in the morning, they do themselves cleaning and washing themselves, and then the first thing they do is, before you even drink anything, eat anything, first must be the shrine. That is a good discipline. And then after that, then you do the 7-4 puja, prayer, and then you can carry on do whatever you do, So this particular 7-limb puja has 7 things that this covers. That's why it calls 7-limb puja. And there are many other types of puja which we will not go through tonight. But we will go through this 7-limb puja. These 7 limbs. The 7 limbs are firstly why the puja is. Purpose of the puja is to honor the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. By doing that, we are using our devotion and faith in the teachings to honor the Buddha and therefore cultivate humility. Devotion is very good antidote to pride and arrogance. Doing devotional things calms us, tames down, tames. Amazing how people get tamed by devotional practices. And they all become very, very courteous towards each other. Devotion teaches courtesy and kindness and gentleness towards each other. Because one is now very courteous in front of the statues, which is really amazing. Now, if people have learned to become courteous in front of statues, they will be courteous in front of real living people. They shouldn't speak unkindly to living people. In front of the statues, they're mumbling a lot of prayers. What's the point of that if they're not courteous in front of real people? So devotional prayers and chantings and behaviors is actually tames us, subdues us, and make us a little bit sort of basically tamed, basically tamed. It's amazing. And taking the shoes off, or walking inside the room with joined hands, often bringing something to offer to the shrine, flowers, whatever. Not just thinking that somebody else does this all the time. Just maybe I can bring this next time. It's really good, and everybody feels part of it, And even in your home also, don't just think that the instance you had 2 years ago will do. So maybe change it, maybe get something new, like that. So just renewing them. It shows your amazing love of it, love of the Buddha. Devotion means love, spiritual love to the Buddha. And when you spiritually love the Buddha, and then that will make yourself more endearing and leaning to the teaching whenever your life's difficulty presents you. So you're totally reliant on the teachings. Because of that, you're devoted to it. Once upon a time, people before meeting Dharma, they devoted to drinking or music every night, or playing cards, or games with friends, or out and riding bicycle or bike, dirt ride, going up and down and shooting or whatever. People are devoted in all sorts of things I'm talking about. People are not new to devotion, We're talking about directing the interest and time and resources for the spiritually nourishing practices that you do. We are not saying don't be devoted to other things. Some interest is necessary because we are human beings. We need, kick a ball up and down for a while, if that's necessary. I have these Nepalese friends here. I said, let's come here Sunday. They said, oh, Lama, Sunday we are not free. We play soccer. So they were so devoted to soccer, they wouldn't come to prayers anything on Sunday. So never appropriate time available when you're too devoted to those things. Those people who are devoted to spiritual practices or room where they, and then your practice thrives. So very good to go and create a home within your home where the practice begins. And coming here together several times a week or once a week or occasionally is also a great blessing. We thank each other's attendance. But we actually want people to have at home where their practice must be stabilized. Then the Dharma has come to your home. That means you'll be living it, you'll be breathing it, and then the blessings of the statues, blessings of the Buddha Rupas, they are Nirmanakaya in form. They're Buddha in form. So there's no difference to the Buddha in form and Buddha what that we think is Buddha. And so therefore the seventh limb puja are first limb is limb of paying homage. Paying homage is making prostration, basically. But here, this sevenfold prayer that we're going to go through is a sevenfold prayer according to Samandabhadra's prayer. So this sevenfold prayer firstly divides that out of the three verses. The first verse is paying homage from all three doors. All three doors mean door of the body, door of the speech, door of the mind. So why we pay homage, and why from these three? Paying homage is antidote to pride and ego. We usually show ego from physically, verbally speak arrogantly, and mentally think I am somebody special, and physically, show off or whatever, showing arrogance. These are remedied and purified by paying homage. So, paying homage to whom? all Tathagatas of threefold time. So Tathagata is an epithet, which means enlightened ones. But literal meaning of Tathagata, Tatha means thus, Gata means gone, thus gone. Thus gone means the enlightened ones who have gone from this world of suffering blissfully to the enlightened state of bliss, thus gone. Tathagata, sometimes called Sugata. Sugata means gone well. All Tathagatas, threefold time means of the past, of the present, of the future. So all the Tathagatas, all the enlightened ones, past, present, future. You're not just paying homage to Buddhas of this eon, you're also prostrating to the Buddhas of the past eon. You're also going to do prostration Buddhas of future ones. So very, very, because more the merrier, isn't it? So that's why the field of homage you're making to is Buddhas of past, present, three times, and of 10 direction. 10 direction, wherever they are, whether they are above or below, on for cardinal direction or for intermediate direction, wherever the Buddhas are, not just in front of your shrine. You might be pointing your hands towards the shrine, but Buddhas could be on the right, Buddhas could be on the left. Remember, people put Buddhas in the garden. So Buddhas in the 10 directions. And lions of humans. So this is a Narasimha, which means the lions among humans means Buddha was a human being. But he was lion. Lion means king among human beings, who transcended the ordinary humanness and reached the state of perfect level a human being can reach. So Buddha is a lion among human beings. And so Buddha is not regarded as a god. Buddha is a lion among human beings. Means a human beings who excelled all human beings, like a lion who excelled and became king of all creatures. Yeah, because of its mane or because of its height or whatever it is. I'm sure the lion can tell you that. I don't know. But Buddha this is one epithet, Buddha, lion among human beings. To all of you without exception. So this is the imagination of you might have a little tanka or statue in the shrine, but you must imagine that there are all of them without excluding anybody, all the enlightened ones, their manifestation in all directions, not just on your little shrine, wherever they are. To all of them, you bow down with your body, voice, and mind. So this is paying homage physically, verbally, mentally together. Physically, verbally, mentally together means physically folding your two hands, cupped hands like this, with the thumb inside and hands like this. And then if you know how to do prostration, you touch on the crown, your forehead, your throat, your heart. These are the 4 chakras. Point of your crown, your forehead, your throat, and your heart. So this is from the crown of your head. You pay homage to your body to purify your hand. Confess all negative karma of the body. Confess negative karma of speech. Confess negative karma of mind. And with this mind, if you're bowing down, prostrate, you actually go down, physically prostrate. If you're not prostrating, you just sit. Even this is a prostration gesture, yeah? This is also a physical prostrating gesture. Verbally paying homage is saying this lovingly, saying this with great melody and devotion and love. Not just saying quickly as if you're in a rush type of thing. Saying very lovingly and melodiously. And saying devotion from the mind is your mind is imagining the Buddhas everywhere, and you're completely inspired by them, and so that your whole body, speech, and mind are doing in unison. So not physically doing, the mind is distracted. That's not called 3 doors together. The mind thinking something, but physically bowing down a lot is not unison, So body, speech, mind, all meditative. So when you do next time prostration mindfully, you can see how meditative it is. You can see people doing thousands of them in Bodh Gaya and under the Bodhi stupa, Bodhi tree. You wouldn't believe how many people are bowing down. But at the same time, you wouldn't believe how many different ways people bow down. You can see the Thai people, you can see the Burmese, you can see the Tibetans, you can see the and some crippled, still bowing down. Some only one hand, still bowing down. Some on wheelchair, still bowing down. Some very youthful, you can see the big muscle. They're just going up and down on the prostration board whole day. So you can see that. See, these are all meditation. They're not exercising. They're not doing weight loss practice. That's not the intention. These are to cultivate devotion, to get rid of the weight of the ego and pride. And so it is very meditative. Devotion and meditation, meditation. Physically, verbally, mentally. When all body, speech, mind join together and do this wholeheartedly, then it becomes very meditative. You couldn't go dull when you're doing prostration. You couldn't go fall asleep prostrating. Yeah, it's very active. For people, it's very good for if you can't do many, that's fine. Do a few and then read a little sit a while and then get up again. It's very good. So we do this practice on Wednesday night. Wednesday night we do about 50 prostration sometimes. Other times maybe 100. In this weather we could definitely do 50. So summertime maybe a little, but very good. And then Sunday morning 9:30 also. 9:30 also this practice goes on. So you can join. It got a little bit more elaborate practices, but you will understand because it's more detailed. But it's good to join in and do that. And you've got to know to do it and then feel how meditative it is, how settling. There's people, lots of people are not sitting well in that skin, Come and do some prostration and then you realize, you start sitting well in that skin. Because people are not comfortable being themselves. But they're not doing useful things with their psychophysical organ that has been fed and bred and washed and cleaned and served. And so for what is this body nourished and pampered for what? To do some useful things. Prostration is very powerful. It will break lots of karma. It will break a lot of negative karma we create from all harm and hurt we have caused physically. It will purify. Verbally reciting prayers, saying bodhicitta, the refuge prayer, all the hurtful, handful things we have said, all will purify. That's why we join the hands together to our throat and mouth, to clean our mouth and brush our teeth and change our karma of speech. And then touch here, which we want to get rid of the ill will, resentment and guilt and sadness. Each time we touch it, it will bless you. So therefore it has to be done with meditative, Of course doing with others is going to one thing, but once you start really learn how to do it, then you do it yourself mindfully. 100 is minimum, You might even do couple of thousand. We have one Dharma sister, she's in New Zealand, she's doing retreat. She's doing 800 prostrations a day, and she finished 100,000 after, But it's a meditation. It's not just a devotional thing to get started or something. No, she's doing that every day. Yeah, and that is meditation. It is very purificatory. Karma, physical karma, verbal karma, mental karma, and all kinds of things purify. So I bow down with body, speech, and mind. So that is the meditation. Analytical. Very analytical. You're asking yourself, why I'm doing this more than 3 times? Isn't 3 enough? See, you're analyzing, your mind checking. Then of course, the first 3 is just ceremonial, First 3 is just the etiquette, protocol before you can sit down. But when the prostration itself becomes the main meditation, it has to go a couple of 100. Then you start the meditationness of the prostration. Devotion. The devotion becomes meditation. Devotion is meditation. It calms your mind, blesses your mind. It gives you no time to get distracted. You have to do the prostration. You can tell yourself, I am busy, I'm prostrating. But when you're sitting there meditating, you're dull, your mind couldn't focus, See, in Tibetan Buddhism, and Buddhism generally uses the physical movement as a meditation, So devotional is very meditative. So by the strength of this good action prayer, so they're talking about by the strength, by when you mobilize your physical, verbal, mental energy together, particularly make your 70-kilo body up and down, it's pretty good, What is moving this person? His faith. His faith is moving him, not sitting idle and lazy and dull and comfortable for nothing, but doing something. By the strength of this good action, this is good action, good karma. Bow down to the Buddha. Every one step towards the Buddha is meritorious. Doing many prostration with many, many good actions. Much better than walking on treadmills thousands of times for nothing. Treadmill, wow, dangerous thing to walk on. When you can walk on your own floor and do prostration, much safer. And they cost a lot. Treadmill costs. Oh gosh, a couple of years ago, one of my students said I should have a treadmill or something. I couldn't believe how much it cost, and but they actually delivered to my house. Unfortunately, I never used. Seems so unsafe. I don't know what to do. But I think you can practice that. You can practice mindfulness on treadmill. Yeah, once you get used. Anyway, prostration is a very safe practice. I bow down with as many bodies as atoms. See? Don't do the prostration with one miserable body. You multiply your body as many as atoms of the universe. And with your friends, with your loved ones, mother, father, brother, sister, everybody with you. You just imagine them. You just include them. And that may their karma of body, may their karma of speech, may their karma of ill will dropped with these prostrations as I do. With that, it is very powerfully devotional moving. So visualization should be as many bodies as atoms in all the Buddha realms. Why? Because many sentient, you have so many lives, you have created so many karmas, not just in this life, but so many. So you purify all of that, you do the prostration. To all the victors refers to the Buddhas. Victors meaning those who have become victorious from his inner enemy of the afflictions and karma. Yeah, that's what we were talking last week. The afflictions, like enemies, the poisons. Those who have defeated the poisons, those who have eradicated the poison, those who have defeated enemies, those who have crossed the river, those who have crushed the darkness, dispelled the darkness. These are the victors that I behold. Behold, you got to see in your eyes that all the Buddhas are right before you, inspiring you by their infinite qualities, and then making you to go bow down mindfully, devotedly from each, every cell of your body moves. Not just your two hands and legs and forehead. So when you prostrate, there are short form prostration and long form prostration. Full length is you go flat on the floor. You stretch your whole. They say when you do prostrate, you got to let your hands go, fingers go. If you stretch, go like this, and then go like that. Don't keep hands like this. It's very dangerous. It's inauspicious to keep. They say you will be born as an animal, like a hoof. If you want to be born as a human being, go like this. You will be born with the webbed fingers next time. Symbol of the Buddha. Buddha has webbed fingers. Buddha has 112 marks, So you offer whole body, not just this life's body, but all the body karma. You confess all the negative karma of the body. By reciting the prayer from the speech, by feeling from your heart, from the mind, and so you do the prostration, physical prostration. That's a physical prostration. Mental prostration is for each atom as many Buddhas as atoms. So now you're imagining as many atoms there are. On each atoms there are that many atoms of the Buddhas. Buddhas sit amid their offspring, means bodhisattvas. So each Buddha is sitting on one atom of the universe. Every atom of the universe, every atom is surrounded by that many offsprings, and to them, thus I imagine all Dharma realms. See, so second is the mental image, mental homage. The more you can creatively visualize, that much this is a more powerful offering, completely filled with all the conquerors. So you're doing, but mentally you got to feel that the magnitude and the holy presence of the number of enlightened beings there is just mind-boggling. You just couldn't imagine there are that many Buddhas, which is very auspicious to see that many Buddhas, and for the sake of all sentient beings. So that your devotion, you're moved by the number of Buddhas, So because of that, your mental homage is you're mentally imagining them before you, seeing them before your eyes, mentally imagining, witnessing your mind, seeing that is a mental homage. Not just thinking the statue will do. Statues are just symbol only. But actual Buddhas, you got to see them by believing in them. Verbal homage is, and with boundless seas for praise for them. So on each of the yourself, as many as atoms of the universe, each of the tongue are all singing praises, eulogies to the infinite qualities of the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. Seas means seas of praise for them, means just sea is very deep and vast, isn't it? Likewise, your varieties of praises are in enormous quantity and qualities. For each note in an ocean of music, that your voice is immaculate. Your voice is not like Australia voice. Voice of all the world. Each note in an ocean of music, I praise all the Buddha's qualities. Not just the lyrics that got no meaning, not that kind of thing. That is very loud, and people think it's great, but actually the meaning of the word got nothing meaning, not like that. The meaning is full of Buddha's meaning of qualities of the Buddhas. And I praise all the Buddha's qualities and eulogize all the Sukhatas. So you're basically chanting hymns, basically. Imagine them, but you might be reciting this, but actually imagine the various eulogies or hymns that are offered is just enormous. By paying homage from the speech, purify the karma of the speech. By paying homage from the mind, purify karma of the mind. So this first limb is the paying homage, making offerings. Making offerings of your body, devotion, so devoted that your body. Some people will go throw themselves on the floor when they see great lamas or visiting teachers, or they just go on the floor. They want them to walk on top of them, Some people would throw the shirt on the floor so that the shirt is on the shirt the teacher walks, It's amazing how the cultural devotion is shown, They just show. Some people would throw their best clothes on the floor, and then when the teacher walk past, then they collect the cloth as the cloth is the blessed. So such kind of devotion is shown. This kind of devotion is a form of living Buddhism, really living people whose faith is strong. So first paying homage as a ritual and devotion purifies pride and arrogance. So that's the really main thing. So by becoming so devoted in front of statues and shrine and so forth, then it naturally tames us to be in front of other sentient beings, how to be courteous and respectful towards each other. That's the main thing. That's the post-meditation is being respectful, courteous to each other. So this daily meditation is courtesy. Second is limb of offering. Of the limb of offering, we went through the 8 offerings, but here, of course, there's the list of offering is sacred flowers and holy garlands. So that's the flower. Symbols refers to music. Balms refers to the kind of actually a touch offering of tactile. the finest umbrella. That's also to dignity. Offering umbrellas and banners and parasols are mainly for the dignity of that. And exquisite lamps, that's offering of light. And sweet as incense, we offer it. And to all the conquerors. So you offer all of such things to the enlightened ones. And sacred garments, the various clothes, like all the brocades we use, and best of perfumes, physic powders, heaped like a Mount Sumeru. Many different wonderful offerings put together. Special designs, special designs, clothes, or the ornaments or furnitures, whatever it is. You try to put them spiritually and culturally correct things, display them. Special designs of all things that are wondrous are offered to all the conquerors. Offering, generally speaking, is to purify our miserliness, our stinginess. And if we offer to the enlightened ones, they say purify the karma of our miserliness and utilizes the phantom-like nature of material possession that otherwise got not much use, often become cause of discord and fighting and conflict. So offering is a very good, they call joy of offering, joy of giving. But that's only when we do offer them. So when you find yourself having a separate jug that is only used for offering the offering balls, not used with other jugs like kitchen jug or other jugs. Just have a jug specifically for that, and keeping them that way is a very good practice. So that's the offerings we have. And let's go through these offerings. So first is drinking water, pure, clean water offered to the Buddha for drinking and cleanse the mouth or face. So of course, Buddha doesn't have a clean, unclean mouth or face. That's not the purpose. Purpose is to offer this water in order to quench the thirst of sentient beings. So the offering symbolizes all virtuous qualities. So here the commentary says, when you put the 7 bowls and 1 lamp, all these 8 offerings, so actually this symbolizes 7-fold prayers. So the first bowl symbolizes the paying homage. So you're actually physically paying homage, but actually putting the first water represent paying homage. So all the 7 limb things are actually represented by the items that are displayed. So that's a multi-layer meaning. Second bowl is drinking, bathing, water for bathing, pure, clean water offered for bathing, our objects of refuge, Buddha and our precious teacher. So the water is offered to clean. Typically, the water was offered to bathe the feet, and the water was scented with sandalwood and other sweet scent. This offering symbolized purification of negative karma. So because we offer water for purification, that means we have karma to purify. We want the Dharma knowledge to help us purify our karma. So in the 7 limb puja, this represents the offering. All the offering represent the second water. And then the third one is a flower, which is pushpe, Sanskrit. The offering represents all the various types of beautiful flowers in the entire universe that can be offered, as well as medicinal flowers, fruits, and grains. It symbolizes the beauty and flowering of enlightenment. So you're praying for the flowering of enlightenment. And signifies the opening of one's heart. So that eventually our heart become pure and open like a flower. In the 7th limb puja, this of flower represent confession. Only when we open our heart, we confess our negativity. So there's nothing concealing, nothing hiding. We completely open. Declare, they call it. Declare. Confession is declaration. And the fourth offering is dupe, the incense. Incense makes an offering of beautiful smell to the Buddha, symbolize morality, ethics, and discipline, which are the basic causes and conditions from which pure enlightened qualities are cultivated. In the 7-fold puja, incense represents rejoicing. Incense represents rejoicing in all the virtues in the world with ordinary and extraordinary qualities. Fifth offering is aloke, the lamp. This offering comes from the form of light. That includes all natural light as sun and moon and stars, as well as types of man-made forms of light such as lamps and candles. This symbolizes dispelling of all darkness of the mind, all ignorance. Ignorance here means being ignorant or unaware of one's true inherent Buddha nature. See, lighting candle every day at least knows that I have Buddha nature. Let there be light. And when you have Buddha nature, then you will see the light in others as well. Light is offered to the eyes of all the enlightened ones who see with pristine clarity. In the 74 pujas, light offering represent requesting Buddhas to always offer Dharma teaching. So usually we ask requesting to turn the wheel of Dharma. Because when we request to turn the Dharma, to teach the Dharma, when the Dharma is taught, then people find light in their life, isn't it? Yeah, so they are much more enlightened. They don't need to stay in darkness, sadness, or madness, or angry. They realize they should rejoice good things. Then their sadness goes away, and they feel grateful to the parents instead of complaining of a few miserable issues they are unhappy about. See that when they hear the teaching, then they become light. Then they're much better than butter lamp. So butter lamp is only a token, Butter lamp is only a token. The real lamping should take place inside here, inside here. So that comes from teaching. So that's why we request to turn the wheel of Dharma. Even you're not going to go to receive teachings or whatever. At least doing that prayer before each day. Each day you are offering, may the teachings be taught in the world, in the country, in this world, in this town. Like some Australian towns, Dharma not reach there. People don't know what it is, But now it's not like that. Last 20 years, things change, Before, not everywhere is Dharma is received or taught or practiced, So because individuals like you do your practice at home and they offer prayers in front of Buddha, and then slowly the ripple effect will make. So one must have such faith that I'm doing this in order to open a gate for others to meet the Dharma. So we have been included in prayers by others. That's why we meeting Dharma. So light the candles for everyone and let there be light. Let people hear the Dharma by my making this lamp offering. With that, otherwise why put all these birthday candles blowing? Strange culture. Why blow light? Let there be light. This is a different culture, of course. If we put a butter lamp for the birthday, we should not blow. We should light many candles and cut the cake separately. I don't know why they're blowing the candle. What's the purpose?
Use them again.
Huh?
To use them again.
To use them again.
To get to the cake.
To get to the cake, yes, that's right. To hit the sack, yeah. To eat the cake.
So we have to change the culture. Next time you want to celebrate your birthday, don't blow. It's very inauspicious in Buddhism. We don't blow the lamps, If it's fire danger or something, we put out. But otherwise, otherwise we should not blow out the candle. Let there be light, safe. And as long as the light remains, it's good. So if you just can sit there, watch the lamp burn safe, it's much better than blowing them. Because there's so much darkness and there's not enough light, to see the things. So that's a lamp. Sixth is offering of perfume. This offering represents all beautiful fragrance of perfume that one can smell and put on the body. Perfume is offered to the Buddha's mind and symbolizes the perseverance, joyful effort that is the heart of enlightenment, the joy in the Dharma, the joy that you get from practice Dharma. It's not matchable by anything you get, I tell you. You've got to do it, and then you realize the benefit and merit and joy. With her perseverance, this is the kind of a right effort. All the other enlightened qualities could not arise in the mind. So in the seven limb puja, the perfume represents beseeching the Buddha to remain in the world, because Buddha is a perfume. The presence of the Buddha is like. Then we have reason to live because Dharma is there. If the Dharma is not there, then the world stinks.
The perfume is there so that it doesn't stink. So if you have faith in the Dharma, even life's difficulties really is bad smell, but the perfume will kill the smell of life. And then you will find the motivation to get up and do your practices. Diligence will come in you. Seventh offering is the offering bowl with the food, excellent food, delicious food of all kinds. Various tastes is offered to the three jewels. This offering symbolizes clear and stable mind of samadhi. Yeah, if you means let me meditate each day. That's the best food you can feed. You know, even you miss lunch, no problems. Meditate. You can always have an afternoon snack. Just don't miss the meditation for the sake of lunch. Don't miss meditation for the sake of birthday party. So the priority should be meditation. Meditation is more important because that lasts longer. That will be provision for your future long journey. The food is only for this 4 hours. After that, you're hungry again. But when you practice Dharma, it will feed you so much that it will be the provision of provisions. You know, all your other supplies run out. The Dharma doesn't run out. Dharma doesn't run out by practicing, you know. You know, then you realize however chill or difficult life hits you, with the Dharma you are warm, you're kind, you're compassionate, you're forgiving. That is the real food, isn't it? Real food of Dharma means you practice Dharma, then it will nurture you always. You never go hungry. Yeah. So that's why we put the food. In the 7 limb puja, the food represents dedication of merit. You know, and the 7th is the dedication of merit to all sentient beings, you know. That's real food. That real food is not just enough for you and not enough for others. That's no good food. That's miserable food, isn't it? It's only enough for me. Sorry, I'm sorry, you have to go somewhere. But in Dharma, we dedicate the merit. We don't take it for ourselves. Even if you practice 2 hours, you dedicate for everyone you can think about, they will eventually receive. The sharing the merit, it's called. Sharing is such a good karma, particularly when you're sharing the good things. 8th and last offering is music. Musical instruments such as cymbals, bells, lutes, and string instruments that create beautiful sound is offered to the ears of the Buddha. Sound symbolize Buddha's wisdom, nature, and extraordinary compassion that rise naturally from the wisdom mind. Of course, here, a little bit talking higher than I was intending to, talking about right speech. If you can practice kind speech, that's the best music, you know. Don't say that you don't know how to play any musical instruments when you are speaking aloud. If you speak kindly and courteously, respectfully, lovingly, unjudgmentally, it is the most beautiful music there is to play, you know. So just reminding of that one day, every day, putting those in the morning, and then go through this prayer. So that's that I inserted this description here because of the offering. It's still offering, yeah. Offering to 2 types. Surpassable offering. Surpassable offering means tangible offering like flowers, waters, incense, so forth. You can put them there. But unsurpassable offering is all this offering vast and unsurpassed. I make to the Buddhas and with mine by strength of faith and good action. I bow to all the conquerors. So that of course your displayed water and flowers is just very, very, very countable, you know. But when you're offering the unsurpassable, you're offering multiply these, as many as there are Buddhas, as many as the universe, they fill everywhere. So you just imagine the filling everywhere, surpass all other imaginable amount of offering people can display, yeah? People can display. Like sometimes they go in Nepal or Kathmandu or India, where the big Buddhist organ temples, they full moon nights, there are 100,000 lamps, you know. And 100,000 of each of these, you know, all roll, and the food are not just apples, you know, or fruit. Each of them are handmade butter sculptures, and each of them would have taken hours to make just one by half a dozen monks just to make one. But they all spent all that time to make them, and they fill the whole courtyard all the offerings. And when you look at it, it's just enormous. That's called, because there are so many Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, you must make as many as possible. And why you're doing this is so that all sentient beings be worthy to receive the actual Dharma, Because if you don't have merit, you don't receive Dharma. So offering the talk or offering big things people offer is to accumulate merit so that beings become worthy to find the Dharma. Dharma only is found by people if they have merit. So offering is the first of the many merits. Dana we call. So offering to the Buddha. And so that's the second limb. So, and third limb is the limb of confession. This is a very powerful one because once you have set up the shrine, you paid homage and you make the offerings, now you're confessing, which is really good because people have a lot of things they are not quite happy about past, yet they haven't resolved it. They haven't reconciled with it, they haven't confessed themselves or pardoned each other. Maybe some have, but still there are few things not quite settled. In presence of the Buddha, wholeheartedly bring it forth, not conceal or hide, bring forth. You don't want to have this carrying, weighing you down from next few years. You want it to be dropped and changed and whatever it takes to work for it. So confession is very powerful. Every misdeeds I have committed. Misdeeds meaning unskillful karma that are created under the influence of a not so sane state of mind, either under the influence of affliction or bad friends or bad companions or alcohol or other kind of substances, because people usually sane, they don't do the unskillful things. They are agitated, they have anger, they are upset by something, and then they do something, They usually wouldn't do it. So when people do something wrong, you've got to be kind to them. Oh, what must have stressed them so much they were doing this without knowing they were doing it. So when you know that, there's a lot of kindness when somebody does something unsettling, because it's a misdeeds, it's a missed deeds. It's not misdeeds, it's a missed deed. They were trying to do good, but they just missed that. and then they did something opposite. It's a very nice assumption, isn't it? To think that somebody did deliberately is so unforgiving. But when people did it, due to some stress, some illness, some difficulties, and some stress, some pains, some other things happening, that's all things. When somebody does something, usually when you really check carefully, they were under stress. The life's been very hard for them last few weeks, and that's why he spoke like that. That's why I did like that. But if he really was in his good space, he would not have said that at all. So be kind to each other. And so every misdeeds I've committed. So just we are assuming that everything we have committed that are wrong and harmful or unbeneficial with my body, speech, mind. So there's a physical, verbal, and mental. Don't ever think that it's physical and verbal are the karma, mental are not. Mental are just as heavy karma, particularly before the self. Through greed, hatred, or delusion. So these are three poisons we talked about last week. Greed, hatred, or desire, hatred, or ignorance, whichever you. I confess them each and every one. This is very important. Buddhas are there in front of you, in front of your room for a reason. They are power of reliance. Your regret is power of regret. Your power of promise, your power of restoration. If these four powers are there, then saying this verse wholeheartedly in the presence of Buddha, you will be able to lift a huge weight over your shoulders by doing this about whatever it is. You wouldn't believe the power of the pujas by participating in it, by lamping the light and filling the jug water, and then you sit through the prayer, and after that you have a feeling, spiritually speaking, you have given yourself a good cleansing. You have good reason to think that. Confession is a very powerful remedy for guilt, resentment, and blame, and anger, and frustration. So usually people are distressed. People are depressed. Why? They have done something, or they think somebody did something, they're angry at them, or guilty about themselves. They haven't confessed it. They haven't pardoned the others or confessed themselves. That's why people become depressed. But if one who engages in the puja daily, there is no time, no room, no substance to make us feel depressed and agitated. So that's why daily prayers are very, very important. Like daily washing is good for your physical hygiene, isn't it? Weekly cleaning the house is very good for the house. And daily practice is very good for the hygiene of the mind and spirituality. So offering daily is very important. So the fourth one is limb of rejoicing. Limb of rejoicing is, I rejoice in all of the merit. Rejoicing merit of one's own merit as well as the merit of others. A lot of people are very negative. They're so negative even among themselves. They're the first one most negative to themselves. So we have to first be positive. First rejoice yourself. Look at your body. Look at your country. You get your life. You have your mother and father and support and all those things. Oh, I rejoice I have a mother. I rejoice I have a father. I rejoice they support me unconditionally. Just start thinking the list of things you can rejoice that are all concerning your life, which is really important. People are listing things they're unhappy about. And they go to counselors and they help them to remember. We need counselors who then help people remember all the good things. Positive psychology is well overdue. Don't you think? So practicing puja every day is very useful because it helps you to remember, rejoice, all the merit, all the kindnesses that you receive, all the love that you receive, all the education that you receive, all the helping that people receive, you receive, all the knowledge that you receive, all came from very many distant time and different years, or you could never can express your gratitude. Now, where do you have time to be sad? You would not have enough time left to be sad. See, puja is very therapeutic. Do it wholeheartedly each day, 10-15 minutes. Wholeheartedly, you wouldn't believe how it lifts the spirit and your whole motive for the day and the week and a year. So the Buddha Rupa is a constant reminder. Just do something. I'm here. Some statues talk, because they have been so close to you. Some statues talk, So wait until you get your statue talking to you. Some statues cry, I'm told. So that we don't hear in Buddhism a lot. Anyway, statues seem to have a feeling for what we are doing or not doing right. So we rejoice all of the merit. Firstly, all of the merit of conquerors. Here the sequence is, firstly you rejoice the merits of all the Buddhas, just unimaginable. Conquerors, bodhisattvas, all the arhats, all the mahasiddhas, all the lineage gurus, all the great practitioners. Just read one biography, they'll get you. Read another one, that will get you. Just read all the known biographies, Even small stories about various people, how they turn around and how they drop the anger, how they drop the violence, how they drop the mutually destructive behavior, and how they become great champion of peace. You wouldn't believe how Dharma changes people. So rejoice all the changes people made. Don't you think that you are the only thing that has made some mistake? Wait until you really read the life of others. They made huge mistakes, but they made huge turnings. We too can do the same thing. So rejoice. You might be upset about some things you blundered, but look at the things that you did do well, are trying well. At least, at least rejoice that on Tuesday nights in the cold you go here. Go, rejoice that, if not anything. Because that is really happening. So you're not making it up. So I'm here at the teaching. I'm learning to cultivate these practices. Rejoice in all the merit of conquerors of 10 directions. They're offsprings of bodhisattvas. Pateka Buddhas is just arhats. Learners is another lower degree of arhats. Non-learners means another arhat. Living beings, now that's where we are. All other living beings, fellow friends and Dharma practitioners, humans, animals. Look at the animals, you can rejoice them. How the mothers work so hard to look after the young. They have never heard a teaching how to look after the young, but they do it unconditionally. Look at the loving kindness of the animals. Don't you think they have Buddha nature? Yeah, they have Buddha nature. Otherwise, they wouldn't behave like that. So you can be you be delighted by just looking with rejoicingly. You can see only good, and that here in the presence of the shrine, you are going to resolve. I'm going to do this today. I'm going to rejoice. I'm going to think the wonderful, good things, kind things people do, good things people do, so loving things people do. When you think people are doing loving things, you start seeing them mostly. It's amazing. You only see what you're thinking, don't you? So you should believe that people are doing wonderful things. There's a lot more good are doing people are doing than the bad they're talking about. Just believe the opposite. You will not dampen your morale. That's rejoicing. Rejoicing is very important. Rejoice your parents, their dedication, their generosity, their effort, their patience, their unconditional willingness to support children. I met somebody who's it's a Phil up in Townsville. His son was unfortunately arrested by police with the Queensland bikie gang law. 3 of them were in some place. They are arrested because they were 3 together. And this is a 33-year-old grown-up man with his own family and so forth. But when you get arrested like that, it's a big thing for the poor family. And Phil was really devastated that his eldest son was arrested for nothing but just wearing a jacket, looks like whatever. Then when he came home, he told his wife, this is what and his wife said, "My dear, don't worry. If you have to sell the house, we're going to bail him out." So that's the kindness of parents. They'll do anything. They'll do anything to get the son out of problem because he's done nothing wrong. And even if he done everything wrong, but still parents will do anything. This is what we're talking about. Rejoice those things, It's so much to rejoice. And everyone's parents are like that, not just 1 or 2. Unmentionable number of things to rejoice. So that's a powerful remedy for sadness, depression. You couldn't be sad on that day. You couldn't be depressed over something today. After you do that every day, you feel troubled and you feel pitiful about plight of sentient beings, but you wouldn't be emotionally being down and low and poor me, all that sort of thing. You wouldn't know how to do it if you do the 7 limb puja every day. 5th is limb of beseeching to teach. That's requesting the Buddhas to turn the wheel of Dharma. That's why we light the candle in the morning. Let there be light, So who illuminate the 10 worlds. This is talking to the Buddha. The Buddha illuminates the 10 worlds, refers the world in all 10 directions. Who have one detached enlightenment. So Buddha has rich enlightenment. But all protectors, I entreat you all to turn the peerless wheel of Dharma. Because Buddha is constantly teaching. But we have to, this Buddha don't need to be asked to teach. He's not forgetful. But we have to, the one who has to be a nuisance to the Buddha. Please teach, please teach, please teach. And when you ask for teaching will come. So, some people say, I've heard these teachings. They are just thinking for themselves, They don't realize there are many who haven't heard the teachings. So someone has to facilitate, someone has to organize, someone has to create that avenue so that people can hear these teachings. It's not that, I've heard this before, I don't need to hear this. That kind of attitude is so sad. there are lots of people who haven't heard anything like that. So we are requesting, may the teaching be taught, continuously, at all times, wherever they are. Everybody needs to hear these teachings. If they hear once, if they read once, they know exactly what to look for. The most problem is they don't get introduction to it. For whatever it is, they don't get introduced to it. If someone can gently introduce someone to a teaching or to a meditation or a session or something, gently take them, support them, just to help them, it's very good. Slowly, people don't get to discover the Dharma. That's the whole thing, because there's so many things publicized. Dharma is not publicized widely, and it's usually has to come when the merit ripens. But that merit might be us doing something for our friends to meet the Dharma, to point to the little bit direction, and maybe send a little booklet, give them a little birthday gift, not another back scratcher. Give them something meaningful. Give them something that they can read and have some sensible information in there. Sixth, limb of requesting not to pass away into nirvana. With folded palms, I humbly beseech all those who could attain nirvana to stay with us for countless eons to benefit each living being. So this is requesting before your shrine each morning, asking the Buddhas and teachers to live long. This is if you don't have prayer to live long life prayer, doesn't matter, this will do. This prayer is suffice. This prayer suffice for all teachers, In Tibetan Buddhism, we have long life prayers for every teacher, So groups do that prayer though. But this is much older. This is not person specific. This is anyone who is propagating Dharma, carrying out the Dharma activities. We offer our prayers so that they live long. Because if they live long, then they can continue to teach and benefit sentient beings. If they die quickly, then it's very difficult to replace them. Yeah, you have no idea how difficult to replace a good teacher, a lineage holder. You have no idea how hard it is to train and to be able to stand in them and to be committed, to be dedicated, to be knowledgeable, to have all that. It's very difficult, So easy to be distracted by so many things and lose the very main work, So therefore we need to keep offering the prayers, Last is dedication and merit. Limb of dedication is merit is that whatever we do. We share that merit to other sentient beings. Whatever merit I have accrued, through bowing, tribute, confessing, requesting, praying, I dedicate to the enlightenment of all living beings. So these sevenfold prayer are extracted from the Samanthabhadras prayer, and this sevenfold prayer is a pan-Buddhist. This is a sutric form of sevenfold prayer. There's a slightly different sevenfold prayer in other Vajrayana practices. So now, having explained this, we will finish off here tonight by doing these prayers. Because say you have the shrine like this at home. That's what main idea of tonight was, so that you learn to have devotional activities happening at your home. It seems shrine can be as simple as the image and a row of offerings. If you don't have all the balls just get few things, get sets of things, balls from the shops. You can buy them, put them, and then slowly you will improve, get the right kinds. It's not hard to get these days, and do that regularly at your home. And clean them, empty them in the evening and dry them. Next thing, first thing in the morning, you do that and do the sevenfold prayer each morning. And then it will slowly create a routine, a discipline of devotion in your everyday life. So that becomes a meditation. That meditation means what's on the mind. Yeah, that becomes something in your mind. Yeah.
So you empty the bowls at the end of the night, not at the end of the practice.
Yeah, End of the night,
Before
yeah.
you go to bed.
Yeah,
Okay.
before you go to bed. Some people do it fairly early. But if you're practicing late in the evening, wait until then. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so we're going to do this prayer now to finish it off. And so this 8-week course we have gone through is basically analytical meditation on Buddhist subjects that are common to Theravada and other Buddhists. But we haven't gone through any teaching on the uniquely specific to Mahayana. So next term's topic is analytical meditation on Mahayana Buddhism, which will look at the more specifics of Bodhisattvas' practices on top of general Buddhist practices. So here tonight we will do the sevenfold prayer. That will then become the dedication of marriage, and of not only tonight but also this whole 8-week session that we have had. Thank you for your attendance. Oda daga daza devada entendere jalanzo yeme Johaya vedare zaja abada vebode wazema Bada zenga de gora jambra abada ve as many body as a danza hoda bodara to the vida that abio for as many Buddha as a danza medas as a himagine adamare comble leve veda gongara Eve balezes a presode is not in an ocean of music. I preso da Buddha quality and eulogies of the Sugata. Zegevlas and olegales and babans and finest umbrella. Is gazelle and citizens I offer the Gangara Sege garments and perfume Fizzed by the Hila Mamera Special design and all things wonder I offer to the Gangara all these of favors and ansaba, I met to the Buddha with my mind. By the sing of it and good I abide and hold the Gangara. Every message I have committed, with my body, my voice, and my mind. Regret hurt or delusion, I confess the vision everyone. I rejoice in all of the merit of conquerors in the direction. There are things but the Buddha, learners and living being. You illuminate the devil, who have wanted to shall them. But it is into you to turn the pillars with them. Before the Baham visit, all those who go to Nirvana, to serve the folk and leisure, to benefit is living being. Whatever merit I have accrued, through bowing tribute and confessing, requesting, praying, high dedication to the enlightenment of all.